Hey there. So, for anybody that's joining me tonight, I'm so excited that you're here. My name is Princella Stringer, and what I'm doing here today is sharing a little bit with you about my story. I'm here to talk to single professional women with kids about how to get ahead in the workplace. But why am I qualified to do this today? Well, the truth is, I could throw out my credentials and share my work experience and talk about the people that I have helped here in my community. And I've worked pretty hard to get those spaces together and to build that platform. They are important, but I truly believe you don't want to hear about me over and over again in the videos that I do. What counts most is where I came from and why I show up for you here today. That is what I want to share next. So one of the things I'm especially excited to share with you today is that in the near future, I will have more videos, live online events, and even webinars to share with you what I have specifically for working professional women with children. I've noticed that many webinars out there always begin with talking about the presenter, sharing all this information about their background. But I am thinking that you might be thinking what I felt is that I didn't want to hear that in every single video, every webinar they gave. So for that reason, I begin my story here in this video. So I was born Princella Nunez, and my father was born in Durango, Mexico, and my mother, well, she was born in Chicago. Now, mom was a young mom, just like I was. Sounds like I followed her path, right? We were both young moms, and at one point, both of us were single moms. So the one thing that she did tell me about my childhood that I really want to share with you was that I was pretty shy. Like, I'd run under the table if someone came to the door. I think that that's kind of where my journey started on why I was led a certain direction in life. So our parents divorced before I was even in kindergarten, and each of them remarried. My brother and I were blessed with incredible step-parents. But for me, somewhere along the line, insecurities and self-doubt crept in me. And that led to a fear of speaking up, a fear of voicing a difference in opinion, and a fear of getting rejected. And as hard as my parents tried to be there for me, I disconnected myself in my preteen years. Anything I joined, I would quit before my parents even knew. I felt incapable of laying out a plan, and I certainly didn't trust myself with following through successfully because, after all, I started realizing that everything I wanted to try, I would just end up quitting. I could bet that you're thinking, well, why would I share this with you right now? And because the truth is that I had a really good childhood. Things were not that bad. The only thing that was missing was me recognizing that life was good. So why do I share this now? Well, I believe that all of these little things are how we find purpose in who we are and how we became the person we are today. Even more so, we have to look back at the past to understand the now and understand the future. My past was filled with a lack of follow-through. It's to no fault of my parents. It was me. My interests and my passions, they would die pretty quickly because I couldn't speak up. I couldn't speak my voice. I couldn't share what I liked and what I didn't like. I was turning to all the wrong places for love and attention and acceptance. And then one day I just kind of got fed up. I was tired of shutting down when I was confronted, tired of not knowing what I wanted out of life, and really fed up with letting my circumstances dictate my next move. And I found myself stuck in drama, putting out fires instead of planning and looking ahead at the future for what I wanted for myself and for my children. Tired of waiting for approval. Does any of this sound familiar to you? I was tired of watching others go after their dreams and facing the tough stuff for the good stuff. I, on the other hand, always seemed to be chasing the tough stuff for more tough stuff to come my way. Then I began to realize that God was leading me to a time to just sit in my stuff, no boyfriend, no temptations of men in my life, I noticed were starting to happen for me. So for 4 years, I was living a life where I was attempting to date, but the desire just went away. I had no desire, and I no longer felt the need for a man in my life. Now, since my preteen years, I always felt I needed a boyfriend, so at this point it was a little bit confusing to me, so I fought it a little bit until I realized that I just needed to be alone. I didn't need a boyfriend to help me feel validated. And at this point was when I knew God was saying, enough is enough. He started to hear me crying for another way and another path, and he answered my call for that. Finally, after about 4 years of being alone, my son came to me, and he was only about 7 years old, and he told me that it was time for me to start dating again. I will never forget this moment. Because, I mean, just really imagine your child, your littlest child, coming to you out of the blue to tell you what was missing in your family dynamic. I have heard so many stories of women who chose to be obedient to God and being celibate, and how God used the kids to reveal the time that mom should start dating again. It's kind of hard to believe that that would happen, but it's true, and that's what happened for me. I fought against it, as I said, just a little bit, but then I decided maybe online dating might be a good place for me to keep a healthy distance. So long story, a little bit shorter, my husband of today, came to me in such an honoring and respectful way, so different than what I was used to, so different than what I had in my past, loving and accepting me for me, not for what I could provide. Now, I can save that for another video, because that could truly take a whole video on how we met and how we stayed together and what our family dynamic is like today, and I would love to share that one day. But for now, I really want to share that as time went on, I felt God's presence in my life, and my faith grew stronger. And then one day I came across a scripture that really changed everything for me. I've mentioned this before in other past videos, but it's so huge in my path, in my journey, that I wanted to mention it in this video too. So I came across a scripture, Joshua 1:9, where God says, "Have I not commanded you? Be strong and be courageous." That was the only approval that I needed to start speaking my voice. From then on out, I was on a journey of learning how to do this. It was almost as if a light switch had been turned on. I became more aware than ever in the power of God giving me the choices that I could make. I didn't have to accept the drama. I didn't have to accept the hardship. All I had to do was begin loving others and begin being my authentic self, and in finding my voice. So I'm still learning what all of that means today, but one thing I know for sure is that God gave me a voice to share my story of young motherhood and single motherhood, which is why I chose to be on the social media platform, sharing my story and helping other women speak their voice in the workplace and speak their voice in personal relationship. So one thing I know today for sure is more women are being courageous in speaking their voice. More women are stepping up and sharing their story. Now, granted, many women have much more traumatic stories than I had. I mean, I was really blessed in my childhood. I was kind of just a naive girl that was very shy and never quite broke out of that, and it affected me in my adult years. But I say to myself and to all women that struggle with this that now really is the time, better than ever. Women are standing up and bonding together to be able to do this. Now today, I'm a woman that loves teaching women about the power and the knowledge that they already have within themselves, and to realize it is their time, just like it is another woman's time or my time. It is their time to speak out. I love investing in other people to quit living the life on other people's terms, to help them run from the life that sucks the life out of them. Today, I'm a woman that helps women instead find the fuel that drives them to their best life. I'm finding those women and they're like, Princella, I am done. I'm fed up with going numb in a challenge. I'm done with not having the energy to invest the time in mapping out my future. And I'm tired of waiting for others. I'm tired of using excuses. I'm done with with holding back. I'm done with fears that are holding me back. Women are speaking up and saying, I have something to say that matters, and I'm ready to live the life that shows I have something to say. So I hope that you join me every single Monday where I will have more videos to support single moms, working moms that want to get ahead in the workplace and want to learn how to use their voice as a vehicle to get ahead in the workplace and in life. So I would love to hear from you some tips that have helped you get through some tough times in your life. If you have something that you would like to hear another point of view on in a certain issue that you're facing, leave the comment below and we can share what we have gone through and how we can encourage each other to keep pressing forward. If you like the content in this video, subscribe and click the little bell because then you'll get notifications when new videos are coming out. Speaking of future topics, I want to share with you a couple of video playlists that I'm putting together right now on branding yourself and also on speaking your voice. Now, in branding yourself, I talk about social media. What does it say about you? What does it say about the woman you are in the workplace? What does it say about the mom that you are? And how are you branding yourself in social media? And the other topic, how to speak your voice, we talk about how that works in personal relationships and how it works in workplace relationships, just to name a couple things that we have in the works. So I look forward to seeing you next Monday right here with more topics geared toward helping working single moms get ahead in the workplace.